Good morning, children. In this video we are going to see about sexual reproduction in plants. So first of all we can see what is meant by sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction is the mode of reproduction which take place with the involvement of two individuals of two different sexes. So in the last video we have seen about asexual reproduction. In that we have seen the asexual reproduction is the mode of reproduction which take place with the involvement of one parent, isn't it? So here sexual reproduction will take place with the involvement of two individuals of two different sexes, male and female. So during sexual reproduction, male organisms have male sex organs which will produce male gametes. Okay, so that is sperms which are small and motile. Motile means they can move. Okay, so during sexual reproduction, male organisms having male sex organs will produce male gametes, that is sperms which are small and motile. The female organism having female sex organs, is it? So they produces ova. It is also known as egg, which are generally large and can store food. Okay, so during sexual reproduction, male organisms will produce male gametes and female organisms will produce female gamete, that is ova, which are generally large and store food. Now, during reproduction, what will happen? There will be a fusion of male and female gametes. So male gamete fuse with the female gametes and form a zygote. Okay, zygote which will grow into a new organism. So male and female gametes fuse and form a zygote, and zygote develops into a new organism. Understood, children? So this is the normal process which take place during sexual reproduction. Now let us see the sexual reproduction in plants. So we know that flowers are the reproductive organs of plants. So which is the reproductive organs of plants, children? Flowers. Okay, so flowers are the reproductive organs of plants, and a typical flower consists of four main whorls, namely sepals, petals, stamen and pistil. So you have learned in your previous class about the structure of flowers. So just recall that same you are going to study in this chapter also. So flower consists of four main whorls or four main parts. What are they? Sepals, petals, stamen and pistil. So here you can see the diagrammatic representation, longitudinal section of flower, which is very important diagram, often used to ask in the exam. Okay, so you have to practice this diagram, children, and study the parts which has been labeled in this diagram. So here you can see the longitudinal section of flower. We know that flower has four whorls. What are they? Petal, sepal, then stamen and pistil. So here stamen consists of two main parts. They are anther and filament. Okay, so anther and filament comes under the stamen, and pistil means it has three main parts. They are ovary, style and stigma. Okay, so stigma, style and ovary it is considered as pistil. Okay, so these three parts are named as pistil, and the filament is named as stamen. So this is about longitudinal section of flower. Okay, so flower has four folds. What are they? Sepal, petal, stamen and pistil. Now these petals are colorful. We have seen here petals, so they are red in color, so they are colorful, and because of the color they will attract the insects from pollination. So for pollination they will attract the insects. Petals, as they are colorful, they will attract the insects for pollination. And stamens, we know it consists of two parts. Yes, so what are they? Filament and anther. Yes, so they are the male reproductive parts. Okay, so filament and anther are male reproductive parts and produce pollen grains which contains male gametes. Okay, so stamens are male reproductive parts in the flower, and it can produce pollen grains which contains male gametes, and each stamen has two parts. What are they? Filament. Filament, it is also called a stalk, and anther. Okay, so swollen top part which has large number of pollen grains. You can see in the picture. So the anther and filament. Okay, so anther is the swollen tip. Here you can see the tip of the filament. It is having anther which consists of pollen grains. So pollen grain consists of male gametes. Understood, children? Now here also you can see the male reproductive organ of the plant is stamen, which consists of two parts, filament and anther. So anther, it is the swollen top part which has a large number of pollen grains. Now the carpel is the female reproductive part. It produces ovules that contain female gametes. So here you can see the female reproductive organ. It consists of three main parts: stigma, style and ovary. Okay, so it is also known as carpel, is also known as pistil. Okay, so first I told it is the pistil. So pistil is also known as carpel. It is the female reproductive flower. It produces ovules. So ovary contains ovules which contain female gametes. Okay. So this pistil consists of three parts. The stigma. Stigma is the top sticky part which will receive pollen grains during pollination. Okay. So stigma, it is the sticky part where the pollen grain will come and attached. Okay, so it is the sticky part which will receive the pollen grain during pollination. Understood, children? Now next part is style, that is middle long part. This middle long part is called as style, and ovary is the swollen part and contains ovules. So each ovule has egg cell which is called as female germ cell or female gametes. Understood, children? So I have told that female reproductive organ, that is carpel or pistil, it is the female reproductive part in the plant, and it consists of mainly three parts. What are they? Stigma, style and ovary. So in this, stigma is a sticky part which will receive the pollen grain during pollination, and style is the middle tubular part, and ovary, which is the swollen part which contains ovules, and the ovules contains female germ cells or female gamete. Now we can see about types of flowers. Flowers may be bisexual, that is they will be having both stamens and carpels. So based on the parts present in the reproductive parts present in the flowers, flowers can be classified into two. They are bisexual flowers and unisexual flowers. Okay. So based on the reproductive part present in the plant can be classified into two. What are they? Bisexual and unisexual. So flowers may be bisexual, that is they have both stamens and carpels. For example, we can see plants like mustard, China rose, that is hibiscus, or bisexual flowers. They are having both stamens and carpels. And the flower which may be unisexual. Unisexual means one sex organ will be, that is they are having either stamens or carpels. For example, we can see the unisex in the papaya or watermelon. Okay, so unisexual flower example papaya and watermelon. Now what is meant by pollination? So pollination means the process of transfer of pollen grains from an anther to the stigma of the flower is pollination. Okay, so the process of transfer of pollen grains from an anther to the stigma of the flower is known as pollination. So there are two types of pollination. They are self-pollination and cross-pollination. So what are the two types of pollination? Self-pollination and cross-pollination. Now what is meant by self-pollination? The transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma. So we know pollination means transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma, isn't it? So here what is meant by self-pollination? Transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of the same flower or another flower of same plant. Okay. So the pollination will take place either in same flower or it will take place in another . The transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of another flower or another flower of different plant of same species, then it is a cross pollination. Okay, so it is the transfer of pollen grain from anther to the stigma of another flower or another flower of different plant of same species. Okay, so this cross pollination, it will take place with the help of some agents like insects, birds, wind and water. So some carrier or some agents which will help the cross pollination to take place. So cross pollination will be take place with the help of insects, birds, wind and water. So here you can see the cross pollination. So the anther of one flower will be transmitted to the stigma of the another flower. Then it is called as cross pollination. Now what is meant by fertilization? Fertilization is the process of fission of male and female gamete to form a zygote. The process is called fertilization. So I told that during sexual reproduction there will be a fission of male and female gamete to form a zygote, and the zygote will develop into a new organism, isn't it? So fertilization is the process by which there will be a fission of male and female gamete to form a zygote. So pollination, after pollination, that means pollination means transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma. So after pollination, it is followed by fertilization in plants. So once the anther, from the anther, pollen grain gets transferred to the stigma, the male gamete fuse with the female gamete and form a zygote. Such process is called what? Fertilization. Understood, children? Now, what is the process? What is the process of fertilization? Now, pollen grains, it will land or it will stick on the stigma of the ovary. Then pollen tubes grow out of the pollen grains and travel through the style and reach the ovary. Okay, so how the pollen grain will reach the style and reach the ovary? First, pollen tubes will grow out of the pollen grain and travel through the style and reach the ovary. Pollen tube has two male germ cells. Now, pollen grain will be coming to the pollen tube. The pollen tube has two male germ cells. Each ovule has two polar nuclei and a female germ cell. Okay, so pollen tube or male reproductive organ has two male germ cells, and female reproductive organ, that is ovule, has two polar nuclei and a female germ cell, that is egg. Now this pollen tube, through pollen tube, pollen grain will releases two male germ cells inside the ovule. Okay, so pollen tube will releases the two male germ cells inside the ovule during fertilization. And here what will happen, one of the male germ cell will fuse with the female germ cell, that is egg, and forms a zygote. Okay, so we know pollen has two male germ cells. So one of the male germ cells will fuse with the female germ cell, that is egg, and form a zygote, which will grow into the baby plant, that is embryo. So the fission, this process of fission is known as zygamy. Okay, so the process of fission of male germ cell with the female germ cell and form a zygote which grows into the baby plant is known as zygamy. Then we know pollen tube has two male germ cells. Yes? So one male germ cell fused with the female germ cell, and the other male germ cell will fuse with the two polar nuclei which is present in the ovule. So that process is known as triple fission, because here is the participation of three members. Who are they? Male germ cell. One is male germ cell and two polar nuclei. Yes. So 1 plus 2, 3. Yes. So this process is known as triple fission. Now, so in flowering plants, two fissions will take place. So one is with one male germ cell and one female germ cell to form a zygote, and other fission is one male germ cell with the two polar nuclei present in the ovule. So there is a two fission take place during fertilization. And so the fertilization process which take place in plant is known as double fertilization. Okay, so why the fertilization in plant is called as double fertilization? There will be a two fission take place during fertilization in flowering plants, so that it is called as double fertilization. Now zygote divides to form embryo, isn't it, and develop into a new plant. Now this ovule develop a thick coat and changes into seed. Okay, so ovule develops thick coat and changes into seed, and ovary changes into fruit, and other parts of the flower fall off. Okay, so ovary will changes into fruit, ovule will changes into seed, and other parts of the flower fall off. Now the seed germinates to form a plant when there is a suitable conditions such as air, moisture, etc. Okay, so the seed germinates when there is a suitable condition such as air, moisture, etc. Okay, so this is about the germination process which take place in the plants. Okay, so I hope that you all understand about sexual reproduction in plants. So in the next video we can see the sexual reproduction in human being. If you have any doubt, you can ask children. Thank you.